I read something recently that really struck me. It said many people aren't burned out because they're overworked. Many people are burned out because the work they do is not something they love. Child, many people was me for many years. Story time. So I had a 15-year career as a certified pharmacy technician. My first real job was in high school. I was 15. I was a cashier at a mom and pop pharmacy. So during slow times, I'd go into the actual pharmacy and hand count what we call fast movers. So think things like ibuprofen 800, metformin, penicillin. Now that was in the mid to late 90s. So let's fast forward to 2009. At this point, I'm a nationally certified pharmacy tech. I am an adjunct professor in the pharmacy tech certification program. And at this point, I got 10 years in the pharmacy game. I had recently dropped out of my PhD program in Wisconsin. I moved to Philly with an ex, and I secured this job at a veterinary pharmacy in Jersey. Now, the first 2 weeks of this job was smooth sailing. The job was a mix of retail and hospital. We was making medication for animals, which, fun fact, consumed the largest number of antibiotics in the country. Let's get back to the point of the story. By week 3 of this job, my spirit was done. One morning, I came to work. I clocked in. I walked out the front door, went to McDonald's, came back, and went into the cafeteria and leisurely ate my bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, hash brown, and orange juice. Then I casually found my way onto the pharmacy floor and I began to work. Until that moment, my work ethic could be bottled and sold. But about an hour later, I got called into the office. Y'all know them people fired my ass, right? Now, why am I telling y'all this story? Well, because I was indeed burned out. But I wasn't burned out because I was overworked. Actually, I wasn't overworked at all. I worked 30 hours a week. I had full benefits. The pharmacy was closed on the weekends. I was in my 20s making almost $30 an hour. I was burned out because I no longer loved pharmacy. See, I had gone from retail to inpatient to OR to oncology, and I was in veterinary pharmacy at the time. I even taught for 5 years in the pharmacy tech certification program to prepare the students for the mathematics compounding portion of the national certification exam. So things like ratio and proportions, math conversions, sterile compounding techniques, all of that. But nonetheless, I was out of alignment. Confession. I don't believe we act out of character. I believe we meet parts of ourselves that we've never met, including the unfavorable parts. So clocking in and leaving somebody's job was not my norm. But it was obviously part of my character because it came up out of me. A part that was exhumed when my soul was tired, when I was out of alignment. Now, one thing I know is that if I've experienced something, somebody else has experienced it too. You may be currently experiencing unfavorable parts of yourself. Your soul may be tired. The work you do may not be something you love. Listen, maybe you once loved it, but today your soul is tired. And the one thing about soul tired is it can't be solved by a nap. It can't be solved by a vacation. It can't be solved by taking a day off. And it surely can't be solved by whatever play in your face treats that most traditional jobs offer. You know, donuts, cookies, let you go home early at 3 o'clock. None of that fixes soul tired. Soul tired is only fixed by one thing: coming into alignment. So, what did I do to come into alignment? Well, I took all of my past work experiences, all of my career transitions. I started asking myself the stuff like, what shifted me? What did I glean from these experiences, including the pharmacy tech experience? How did each pivot reflect a new level of awareness and maturity? What strategies did I improve, let go, and keep? But more than that, I took what feels like 100 past lives that I've lived and I got honest with me. Why was I seeking certain things? What was motivating my desires? Was it me? Was it societal norms? Was I trying to impress people? I had to get real honest with myself. I had to develop a relationship with the broken person on the inside of me who needed healing. I had to connect with the child inside of me. What was my inner child trying to communicate to me? What did my inner child need from me? What can my inner child teach me as an adult? Some of us are tired because we are disobedient. Like we've been given an assignment, but we're doing everything but what we've been told to do. Some of us feel the assignment is too basic. It doesn't garner enough notoriety. We feel like it's beneath us. And for others, the assignment scares the pure D shit out of us. Listen, most of us don't need another degree. Most of us are actually bored. Most of us are actually bored. Most people need to do what God has already told us to do. Whew, I hadn't planned on going here, but let's go. Sometimes our demands for having the best of the best and refusing to settle and always having top of the line are not about worth, are not about a soft life era, are not about because we worked hard and we deserved it. Sometimes they're about unhealed wounds from childhood, often unhealed poverty wounds. See, sometimes it's a fear of being reminded of Insert some memory we still have of a really bad experience that was exacerbated by childhood class status. In other words, poverty. Sometimes we even overspend as adults because we refuse to tap into an unhealed poverty wound that's still inside of us. We know it, but we fear even a glimpse of the poor child we once were. We ain't going back there for nothing or nobody. Our unhealed wounds actually got us out here willingly burnt out, willingly working jobs that we don't love. Heal, beloved.